Whew, man, where do I even begin on this one, guys? I mean, this one was a crazy game. This one was weird. A lot of hate's been thrown around right now. And it's a little weird, but, I know it's hard to look, especially even though it's preseason. I understand it's hard to look at a scoreboard that says 41-14. And I'm just as mad as any other Dolphins fan, but there definitely are some major positives to take out of this game. Let's talk about those things. So let's get into the good part of this game first, and then we'll get into the bad, because there's a lot of bad parts to this game. But there are some really, really important good parts, too. So let's get into those. First off, the offense looked amazing. The starting offense is what I wanted to see. That first drive, not so good, and then it just got better and better as the game went along. As they started to get a rhythm, it started to look really, really good. The tempo was amazing. It was on point. That's the first time I've seen a no-huddle, a real no-huddle offense in Miami in years. That was amazing to see that, and it worked so beautifully, and it was awesome. Ryan Tannehill took control. He audibled at the line. We haven't seen that in his whole career. He was audibling. He was running the offense. It was amazing. Ryan Tannehill. So let's get into individual player performances. On the offensive side of the ball, Ryan Tannehill. Obviously, Ryan Tannehill gets the MVP. Ryan Tannehill and Kenny are going to share this co-MVP award. Ryan Tannehill, obviously, like I said, audibling, getting the offense in the right places, making sure the tempo is right. He was in control of that offense, and it was amazing to see. And I was really, really happy to see that. Obviously, Kenny Still's amazing game. I can't remember how many receptions he had, but he had like 72 yards, I think. Of I'm gonna say 4 receptions, something like that, and just an amazing game by Kenny Stills. And again, let's go back to Ryan Tannehill for a second. Obviously the biggest criticisms of Ryan Tannehill. Can't throw the deep ball. Absolutely inaccurate with the deep ball. And we got to see that today on the run, guys. And just bombs it to Kenny Still with a perfect pass lead and everything. Perfect pass. An extremely hard throw to make. And another thing that Ryan, hit the red zone. Can Ryan Tannehill throw it when the windows get tight in the red zone? And we got to see that on a beautiful throw, dropping it right in the bucket to Kenny Stills on the corner of the back of the end zone. And we've actually seen that a lot in training camp of him doing that, and it was really, really good to see that in game action. So again, Ryan Tannehill, in terms of controlling the up-tempo offense, was huge to see. Him taking control of the offense. Kenny Stills looked amazing. A lot of us Dolphins fans discuss this. What happens to Devontae Parker gets hurt? It's going to really hurt our offense. Kenny Stills looks like he could fill in and be the number 1 wide receiver for any team in the NFL. He looked amazing out there. So, again, also the offensive line looked really, really good. They looked really, really, really good. I take that back. They didn't look really, really good, but they looked better. You know what I mean? And when I say really, really good, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm constantly seeing my quarterback getting hit. So it was just good to see him have a clean pocket sometimes. So it was, that was a positive. I'm glad I'm not sitting here talking to you guys about how bad Billy Turner. And there's a lot to be desired, but I'll get into that here in a second. So, with all those positives, those are the positives that I took away from this game. Also, one thing I want to also add, Isaiah Peed, I'm really happy with Isaiah Peed. One of the things I said previewing this game was, one of the things I really want to look for is Isaiah Peed being consistent. And man, was he, man. He played an amazing game. I'm very happy with Isaiah Peed. In terms of the passing game and the running game, played a very, very good game. So, let's get into the negatives. Let me take a deep breath, guys. Let me take a deep breath. Okay, first of all, why? That run defense was so bad. And there's a lot of schematically things that I was taking from the game, and I was like, okay, I can understand why schematically that didn't work. Talent-wise, tons of missed tackles. Tons of missed tackles. Now, the schematic side of this is we run a wide 9 defense. That means you don't really read and react to your gap assignments. You're just pushing up the field and trying to get to the quarterback. The linebacker's job is to clean up in the run game. Their job is to be smart, look for the run, and make sure they come in and clean it up. That's why you have to have really, really good linebackers in the wide 9. So far, we haven't seen that. A lot of teams, especially the Giants, are running draw plays against us, and that's because there's no real gap assignment. So they're pushing up the field thinking, and then the quarterback hands it off, and they rip one for 20 yards. The linebacker's job is to come up and clean that up. Terrible tackling. Mario Williams had a clear shot on Alfred Morris and whiffed it, but that was his first game. But from everybody else, they just played a game a week ago. I wanted to see the tackling progress a little bit, and it didn't at all. And I'm sick and tired of this, man. I'm sick and tired of seeing this Dolphins run defense play as bad as it does. It looked terrible. Now, granted, they are going up against one of the best offensive line in the NFL. And I know Cam Wake was out, but Cam Wake is not run stuff defensive end. It really wouldn't have made a difference if he was out there. Maybe on the pass rush it would have made a huge difference, but it definitely would not have made a difference in the run game. So again, wow, man. Let's get into some other things. Obviously, all night. Listen, one of the things leading up to this video was like, okay, I know Des Bryant is gonna get his against Byron Maxwell, but the way he did it, man, and this was down the field for God's sakes, and he beat him at the line of scrimmage. One of the strongest things of Byron Maxwell's game is he's supposed to press. He's supposed to be a physical corner. Des Bryant was just the more physical player this game. He just absolutely dominated him, and I didn't expect. I was like, dang, man, he's embarrassing you, Byron. I was very upset with Byron Maxwell. What else, man? The secondary looked terrible all night. It did. The linebackers and coverage looked awful. Jason Witten, wrote us up a check of get your butt kicked. Just check that in the bank. 'Cause he absolutely destroyed us. Linebackers, like I said, our pass defense was terrible. Even in the reserves, it was awful. Now, let me get back to this. I said Dak Prescott looks amazing, and he looked amazing against the LA Rams, who the LA Rams have one of the best defenses in the NFL. So when he did what he did to us, which was he absolutely looked like he was playing against a high school team. It looked so easy for him. It was insane, and it was so frustrating watching that as a Dolphins fan because the secondary did so well, and the reserve secondary did so well against the Giants. They caused turnovers while Akins was getting in the backfield causing fumbles. They did none of that. There was none of that going on. It was absolutely just get raped. It was so bad. It was so bad, and I'm very disappointed in Bobby McCain, Hindi. I'm so just disappointed in that defense all around. And I understand, listen, in their defense, they're going up against a quarterback that has a extremely hot hand right now. Not only did he do it to us, but he did to the LA Rams too. And it is what it is. It really is what it is. But again, the positives of this game, I'm really impressed with that tempo, guys. Like, I was really impressed with it. I'm really impressed with Tannehill improving on things that he wasn't good at, by the way. And it was awesome to see him audible. But again, the defense looked like trash. It was all-around bad day on the defensive side of the ball. But for the offensive side of the ball, for the most part, was a good day. And I forgot to mention this. There was a lot to be desired in the run game and the offense. The run game and the offense looked terrible. We cannot do this. We cannot have especially in our division where we have these amazing defensive fronts, and the Cowboys defensive front is not amazing at all. It's very average, very almost below average in my opinion. So to not establish a run game was very concerning, and what the heck do you think is going to happen when we go up against these Pro Bowl defensive fronts in the AFC East? And that concerns me a lot. But, that is going to be it, guys. I am Skagster283. I'm going to leave you off with these. I think it's going to be like 3 or 4 highlights of Ryan Tannehill and Kenny Stills, basically, because that was the bright spots of this game. So I'm Skagster283, and I'll see.
Although Jack Del Rio may be getting that thing turned around a bit.
That could be a team to watch in the AFC this year.
Isaiah Peed to the secondary and down the sideline. Isaiah Fry is able to run him down. And in for the Dolphins as well. And going deep downfield is Tannehill. Has a man. That's Kenny Stills behind the Cowboys secondary. Tannehill for the end zone, and it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Kenny Stills.
And that time the Cowboys couldn't.
So 3rd and goal from the 4. Back in the first quarter, Cowboys came up with a defensive stand on 4 downs. Going for the back of the end zone this time, and holding on to the football is Kenny Stills with his 2nd touchdown grab of this game.
He just lined him up in the